Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to week 21 of the DC Sports Digest. Another really packed week of DC sports news. I'm really excited to share with you guys. It's been honestly a great time to start doing these videos because there's a lot of exciting things to talk about. So without further ado, let's get started. So the Nationals have started spring training. They went 4-3, and honestly, they look pretty solid. And one player I want to spotlight is definitely James Wood, who already has hit, I think from what I've heard, more home runs than whole teams have this spring training. It just belted them. And speaking of that, I really wanted to kind of highlight how much we won that Soto trade by, because obviously the Padres moved on from him, and we got C.J. Abrams, a solid pitcher in Mackenzie Gore, James Wood, like I just talked about, Robert Hassel, and then some other pitcher we got. So it was really solid, and basically that trade just gave us the building blocks of this new team, and I'm really excited. We're going to be really good this year. I can't wait. On to the Wizards, who are the total opposite, going in the total opposite direction. Lost to the Cavs. Warriors, they took the Lakers to overtime, and they got cooked by James Harden and the Clippers. And now the really only annoying thing right now is that Kyle Kuzma tweet that he had from a while ago. Everyone's like, oh, now he said like, oh, don't be that team, and now they're that team. So everyone's just kind of overblowing it, and we honestly been playing some good teams. So as long as we just don't get like a 29 game losing streak like the Pistons, I think we'll be okay. And also, it would be nice not to be last in the league, but also I would prefer bottom three so we can get a top 5 pick. So we'll see what happens with that. We got the Jazz, Magic, and Hornets coming up this week. We'll see if we can end our losing streak. All right, on to the Capitals. We beat the Senators and the Flyers and lost to the Panthers and Red Wings. And last night's game against the Flyers was pretty much a do or die for our season. It was pretty much the biggest game of our season, because if we lost, we were pretty much sellers at the trade deadline, which is coming up. I'm not sure when, but soon. It's really weird how late they do it, but it's fine. It still made us, if we lost this game, we pretty much we were not going to try to make the playoffs. But now, I really don't think we're sellers, because we're only 4 points away from third in the Metro. That's definitely doable. We play the Flyers one more time, who are in that third place position. And yeah, every game really is going to matter now. But the next couple, I think we can win with the Coyotes and Penguins. So let's hope we can keep that winning streak up and maybe sneak into the playoffs. That would be really great. Just nice to see a team in the playoffs again. Yeah. And finally, on to the Commanders. I actually have a lot of news for them. First thing that came out, FedEx ended their sponsorship 2 years early. I'm not exactly sure why, but it wasn't really anything the owners did. I guess they just were going to do that anyway. So right now the stadium's going to be Commanders Field or something, or we'll see if any other group wants to sponsor us, and maybe they get to keep the name going into the new stadium, which actually has some news about that too, with the House passing the bill. It's like the RFK building act or something like that, to just kind of renovate it and stuff so we can come back to it. The Senate seems likely to pass it, and then as well as the president. So that means that could happen, which is really exciting. And then the first cap casualties, these were just announced yesterday. Charles Leno, probably the most surprising one, but it still kind of makes sense. It really just further illustrates that we're going to draft a tackle in the draft. And there are a lot of solid choices. I think with our first pick 36, we could get a tackle, or we could trade back up in the first round to get one. But we'll see. It's a loaded draft for O-line, which is great. We also cut Nick Gates, which is really not really for cap space. We only saved $300,000 from that. He has some dead money, I think. So yeah, it's really just because he hasn't been playing that well. And we'll maybe try to address that in free agency or in the draft as well. And then Logan Thomas, I was pretty expected as well to get cut. Yeah, again, we could get a tight end in the draft or in free agency. A lot of decisions with that. And then the combine started on Thursday and Friday. We had defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs, and tight ends. And today is the big day with QBs, running backs, and receivers, and O-line tomorrow. Even though for us it's not as big because our three options, Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jayden Daniels, aren't throwing. But they have all interviewed with the Commanders. I think they've all said some pretty good things. And kind of like what we expected, like there's been a lot of rumors about things happening, things not happening, because it's like they all the top front office people are just kind of just talking, and yeah, so we'll see what happens. Still be interesting to see all these other QBs throw. I think we met with all the top six QBs just to do our due diligence, which is good. Um, yeah, so comment will continue. Free agency is in another week or two, and actually, one other thing I want to talk about is the Bears might make their decision before free agency because they want to be nice to Justin Fields. So we might get news on that. What's going to happen with the Bears and their number one pick pretty soon. So keep an eye on that, and I will definitely document that in the next video. Yeah, so a lot of news, and I expect there will be a lot more news this offseason. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, another really busy week in DC sports, but it's exciting. A lot of things to be excited about, except for the Wizards, but it's fine. The other three teams, there's at least some stuff to be excited about, which is always good. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye.